Hello, Transformer fans. I am Frankie P, and I'm here with a Autobot Cosmos deck. I'm here at Cool Stuff Hollywood Games, but first, I want a quick shout out to TCG Rollout and Wreck and Rule. These guys are awesome. I watch these videos all the time on Transformer decks. All right, so I made this deck because I wanted to originally build Sunstorm, as you see right there. And I was thinking, well, Sunstorm needs to draw a lot of cards. And then, as I was testing the deck out, I noticed that Cosmos, it's a lot faster because Cosmos just lets you draw cards and lets you thin out the deck, so you can use the skill more often. Because Sunstorm has a bad matchup to Shockwave, and that one card a lot of people are playing now, System Reboot, discard your whole hand, both players, and then draw 4 cards. So the Sunstorm goes down to 4. But Cosmos only cares if the deck's low, and that's pretty much easy to achieve with this deck. We are playing Wheeljack because Wheeljack's skill says when you upgrade one of your cards, including himself, you may draw a card and then scrap a card from hand. That skill is not once per turn. That skill goes on a lot. And he's also a specialist. So is Cosmos as a specialist. And then last we have Flamewar, who is a 5-star. She is also a specialist. I put them in this form because this is how I play the deck. Cosmos in bot mode, Wheeljack in alt mode, and Flamewar in her bot mode. Because you want her tough 1 all the time. Because we play a lot of blue pibs, and both of these guys are... Well, Flamewar is kind of weak. She has not a lot of defense and heart and health, but that's fine because we play a lot of blue. We just want Wheeljack to live. That way, Autobot Cosmos goes. There is an RC on the side because you can choose to play RC instead of Flamewar if you want to go the more offensive, piercing route, which is fine because she's also a specialist. Everybody's a specialist but Sunstorm, and that's why I took out Sunstorm because he's not a specialist. Now, we're going to go straight for the cards here. We're going to go for the non-pips, Ready for Action. I choose Ready for Action because, one, it's good against the mirror match in case you fight another Cosmo player, and you don't want your cards to be tapped out first so that we can KO their Cosmos. Also, Ready for Action is a pretty good card here since you want Cosmos to be, attacked, or you don't want your Wheeljack to be targeted next turn. We also play ISO Function because that's it's almost a staple in almost every deck, and everybody here is 12 or lower, so it's perfect. Then we have a Scrapper Gauntlets because when you play this card, if your enemy does not have a weapon, you draw a card. Also, it triggers off Wheeljack's skill. And then we have Treasure Hunt. Treasure Hunt is just to get the deck rolling. You mill 4 cards, and then whether or not you get an upgrade, you get to mill the deck for a Cosmo skill and get it ready. And then we go into where it gets good. The multi-mission gear. When equipped to a specialist, you may play an action. This is really good with Wheeljack because you can draw a card and get what you need, and then pitch it. And he also has 1 defense, which is good because these guys don't have a lot of defense. And what better yet to complement it than multi-tool? When you play it on a specialist, you may play an upgrade. So you play multi-tool, and then you play a mission gear. So you can play an upgrade and an action. And as we go on to the blue pips, we're playing triple Brainstorm. Brainstorm is one of the best cards in this game that you should always play at least a 2 or a 3 of because it's just so good. Next, we play Inspiration Leadership, draw 3, scrap 2. Again, you're helping out to den out deck with Cosmos. Then we play Swap Missions. At any point of game that you attack with Cosmos, and the way this deck runs, you will draw a lot of cards in a turn. You want to have options for Cosmos to attack again. So you KO something with Cosmos, next turn Swap Missions, Cosmos stands up again, KO the other card. Because there's a lot of cards here that lets you draw a lot of cards. We're going to get that real quick. Then we play the bigger they are because Flamewar is a 5-star and Wheeljack is a 9-star, and there's things like Nemesis Prime and Optimus Prime running around. They also get in there. I mostly play them because they're blue and they have piercing, and a lot of truck decks like Optimus Prime play a lot of blue pibs. Next we'll play Drill Arms. Just like Scrapper Gauntlets, when your opponent does not have a armor this time, you draw a card and then you get plus attack. With Wheeljack's skill, you're technically going to draw 2 cards and then discard 1 to thin out the deck and get it going for Cosmos. Then we play, for the white pibs, we play Crushing Size. Just like Drill Arms, only for utility. You draw 2, technically with Wheeljack, and then you scrap 1. But Crushing Size says your opponent has no utility, draw 1, scrap. Then you have Pierce 1. This is also good because you want to get some piercing going on. Piercing, where bigger they are, you have 5 pierce for the turn. Then we play Datapad. I was playing Databank, but it just sat there too long. Datapad is get you a card. It's also another utility I can play. You can always change this to Heroism. I like Heroism as well because it's blue and Cosmos just takes the damage instead. I just play Datapad because an extra draw card. 2, Rapid Conversion. I think 2 is good enough. 3 is a lot. 2 is just perfect. It's only when you have to flip Cosmos over to pitch your hand if it's really bad and then draw a fresh hand. and then or if you want, you could just pitch a card with Cosmo skill, then flip it back and get it ready to swing and deck out, so you can use the skill to KO something. This is where the deck gets really good. You play 3 Equipment Enthusiasts because with multi-gear and multi-tool, you get to play a lot of upgrades like in one turn, and then you can just draw a lot of cards. I've once drawn 8 to 9 cards with Enthusiasts, especially with Brainstorm. Brainstorm to Enthusiast, draw another Brainstorm, play it again. Enthusiast, you just draw 18 cards in one turn, and that's where you get Cosmo skill off. And then next turn, if your hand is still big, your deck might be smaller, so then you go into swap missions and just do it again and deck out for Cosmo skill. And then last, this is where the deck really got good. When I read Swap Parts. Swap Parts says, choose 2 of your characters, swap, I'm sorry. Choose 2 of your characters, swap all of their upgrades. That means if your characters have multi-mission gear and multi-tool, they're both gonna proc. Like, that means you can play an extra upgrade in action. I've read it on the FAQ. It says that any card that is placed with another card, like Swap Parts, sorry about that, their skill will go off. So if you play Swap Parts and Wheeljack has a multi-tool and a mission gear, and your other character has a multi-gear and a multi-tool on, then both of them are going to trigger. So you can play 2 more actions and 2 more upgrades, plus Wheeljack's skill will proc, because Wheeljack only cares if he upgrades a card. Since you're upgrading him again with Swap Parts, his skill is going to trigger off again and draw as many cards as you swapped with him, helping you thin out the deck with Cosmos. This is why, at first, I did like Sunstorm, but then I noticed that Cosmos lets you thin out the deck more, and it was more viable. And I think this is like the best build for Cosmos. I've seen a lot of players playing the Insecticon Bombsher and Demolisher. That's okay, but that's more reliant on your opponent. And I think Reinforced Plating is like all that toughness cards, they're only reliant on your opponent. This is mostly on your turn. This deck is more like a solitaire deck. You just play with yourself. You don't care what your opponent does. As long as you deck out and KO one of their cards, that's all you're doing. It gets a little bit boring. Your opponent will be pissed off, but this deck does win. And it's a more of a budget if you can't afford Nemesis or Opposite Prime, because Cosmos is fairly cheap, going for 15. Wheeljack is like $1. Flame War is like a couple quarters. So if you want, you can pick this up. Build it, try it out. Just let me know if you guys like it. Also, don't forget to pick up your Metroplex deck. They're out right now. Cool Stuff Games do sell them. So do Pro Play Games. And they're going for like $20. It's worth it because with more support, this deck will get better. And also, these cards are exclusive. Scamper, 6-Gun Slammer, and the cards inside the deck. Thank you guys for watching. And we're rolling out.